I stopped wearing underwear. Here's why. Hey, love. So, one of the last videos about why she stopped wearing a bra created a lot of controversy, along with many questions and discussions. So, she decided to go a bit deeper this week and explain why she also stopped wearing underwear. She shared that she does not wear bras, and in about 90% of the time, she also does not wear underwear. And in this video, she wants to explain why she stopped wearing underwear and the four benefits that come from what she now sees as a practice. She knows it may sound surprising at first, but she encourages viewers to stay with her as she explains how to begin gently when it is still better to keep underwear on and how to ease into the transition, while also mentioning that people would be surprised by how deeply it can affect both the body and the mind. She starts by telling the story of how it happened, saying that just like with the bra, she was not trying to make a statement like liberation for the yoni or anything like that, as that was never her original intention. She explains that the reason she stopped wearing a bra and underwear is the same, and in a previous video, she shared that after moving to Southeast Asia, she experienced extreme heat, where sweating became constant and overwhelming. So when she came back home from work, the first thing she would do was take off all her clothes because anything tight on her skin felt unbearable in that intense heat. She describes how at that point she would simply get naked because even underwear and bras felt too much. And at first she felt uncomfortable walking around like that because people are used to covering certain parts of the body. So even being at home without clothes felt strange and made her feel exposed and vulnerable, even when she was alone. But over time, she noticed that it actually felt freeing and comfortable. She realized that no matter what type of underwear she wore before, whether it was a thong, cotton, or anything else, it always felt slightly restrictive and like it was pressing against her body. So she began to enjoy the feeling of being without it. And that is how the habit started about 7 years ago, which slowly turned into a consistent practice rather than a random choice. She explains that she now truly sees it as a practice because she believes it brings several benefits that people usually try to get through therapy, shadow work, or tantra practices. But in her view, some of those effects can also come simply from not wearing underwear. The first benefit she mentions is how it completely changed her belief system around her genitals, as she found it strange that society accepts exposure of many body parts in public, but still insists that the intimate area must always be covered, which made her more aware of how conditioned these beliefs are. She says that even if someone does not consciously believe that genitals are shameful or ugly, the moment they stop wearing underwear in public, they become very aware of that conditioning and feel exposed, which begins a process of releasing deep beliefs about shame, ugliness, and the idea that something is wrong with the genitals, leading to greater acceptance of the body and sexuality. The second benefit she describes is related to health, where she explains that the female body naturally knows how to maintain balance when it is not constantly interfered with, and that underwear, even when made of cotton, can block airflow and trap moisture around the genital area, which may contribute to infections. She adds that because of this, many hygiene products were created to address these issues. But in her view, they sometimes make things worse by adding more chemicals. And she suggests that people who struggle with yeast infections, candida, or strong odors should consider letting the area breathe more, allowing air circulation to keep things balanced while also sharing her personal experience of working out often and realizing that staying in underwear after sweating caused discomfort, whereas going without it allowed better airflow and felt healthier overall. The third benefit she mentions is that it awakens an inner rebel, describing how going out in public, such as to a fancy restaurant or bar, without wearing underwear creates a private sense of breaking rules that no one else knows about, which builds a feeling of courage and independence. She explains that this small act of doing something socially considered inappropriate helps strengthen the mindset of questioning norms. And if someone cannot even challenge small social rules, it becomes harder to challenge larger life expectations around relationships, career, or lifestyle choices. So for her, it connects to building a life on her own terms and strengthening that rebellious inner energy she also uses in her work and business. The fourth and final benefit she describes as the most important is the deeper connection to the earth element, which she explains is linked to feelings of safety, stability, grounding, and emotional balance. And she connects this to how many people today struggle with insecurity, fear, and financial stress, which she associates with a weak earth connection. She says that strengthening this earth connection can also support healing emotional wounds, especially those connected to the mother, since she believes the physical earth mirrors the relationship with one's mother. And by reconnecting with nature and the earth element, people can release old emotional pain and rebuild a healthier sense of grounding, stability, and emotional strength, which she believes also supports endurance and overall vitality. So she adds that this is what, in her view, supports a stronger libido, a more intense sex drive, deeper arousal, and even more stamina. And she also believes that the deeper the connection to the earth becomes, the more powerful and transformative a woman's orgasm can feel. She claims that for some women who feel disconnected from the earth element, reaching orgasm can become difficult. So she links the practice of not wearing underwear to a stronger connection with sexuality and energy flow, and she encourages viewers to simply let go and try it, saying it may help release blockages in the energy body, expand emotional and physical experience, and ultimately improve sexual enjoyment beyond what they may have experienced before. She then pauses to clarify whether she truly never wears underwear at all, and she explains that there are still situations where she does choose to wear it and where she believes it is more appropriate. She shares that when she wears jeans or tighter pants, she still uses underwear because the fabric feels uncomfortable directly against her skin. And she also mentions that when she returns to busy city environments, the energy feels very different compared to living on a tropical island like Thailand, where she is currently surrounded by nature, ocean sounds, and a calmer atmosphere. She says that in cities, she sometimes feels the need to protect her body and energy more, which leads her to wear underwear occasionally, while in nature, she prefers long skirts or dresses so she can avoid it completely and feel more free and connected. She also mentions that during workouts, she sometimes wears underwear and that she still keeps certain pieces of lingerie for special moments, describing them as something she enjoys privately for pleasure and expression rather than daily use. She emphasizes that although she does not wear underwear most of the time, she is not completely against it, but simply prefers to minimize it in daily life, a practice she has maintained for around 5 to 6 years. She acknowledges that the idea may sound extreme at first, but she encourages viewers to try it gradually instead of making drastic changes, suggesting that those living closer to nature may experiment more freely, while city dwellers can start by spending weekends in natural places like forests or lakes and trying long skirts or dresses without underwear to observe how it affects them emotionally, physically, and even sexually, including how they connect with themselves and others. She then invites viewers to reflect on their own reaction to the idea, whether it feels completely unrealistic, mildly interesting, or something they are already practicing, and she asks for their thoughts in the comments. She closes the video by encouraging likes, shares, and subscriptions for more similar content, and mentions her social media links for those who want to stay more connected with her personal updates. Before thanking the audience for watching and signing off warmly,